Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nur Fatin Najwa binti Muhammad Azizi and my number metric is H2182412. So, I will present my part, which is question number 1, A and B, and question number 2, A and B. From the statement given, the population of 500 university students, 25 randomly selected student information about their high school GPA, math score, English score, computer score, and university GPA. So, this is the frequency table for math score. For question 1A, I should develop the frequency table for math score with the percentage and cumulative percentage frequency columns. So, first, I decide the frequency distribution table which is in ungrouped data or group data. For ungrouped data, the classes is single value, while group data, the classes is more than one value. Based on frequency table for math score, the number of class is in group data. So the first step, you should decide on the number of classes k is the 2 to the power of k rules, such that 2k more than n. There were 25 randomly selected student information about their math score. For this question, the k should have 6 classes because 6 squared 2 equals 64. So, this number is greater than 25. The classes should more than 25 as long as cover the lowest and the upper limit in the class. Next, in step 2, is determine the class interval of within. Use the formula of class within equal maximum entry minus minimum entry and divide the number of class. So, in this table, the number should be 712 minus 552 divided by 6 equal to 26.6 and the number should be run up to 27. Then, next step 3 is set the individual class limits. The minimum data entry is the convenient lower limit for the first class. To find the lower limits of the remaining 6 classes, add the class within of 27 to the lower limit of each previous class. The upper limit of the first class is 578, which is one less than the lower limit of the second class. The upper limits of the other class are 578 plus 27 equal to 605. Then 605 plus 27 equal to 632 and so on. After that, step 4 should make a tally mark for each data entry in the appropriate class. Then step 5, these are the number of tally marks for a class in the frequency distribution for math score. After settled, the frequency for first class is 8, second class is 5, third class is 4, fourth classes is 2, followed by fifth classes and sixth classes is 3. Total of sum up F is 25. The last step is the cumulative frequency of the last class is equal to the sample size n. So, this is the table for frequency, percentage frequency, cumulative frequency, and percent cumulative frequency. The formula of frequency percent is frequency divided by sample size n. They multiply 100%. Formula for cumulative frequency is calculated by adding each frequency from a frequency distribution table to the sum of its procedures, while formula for cumulative frequency percent is CF divided by sample size. For question 1B is the frequency table for English score. I should develop the frequency table for English score with the percent and cumulative percent frequency column. Based on frequency table for English score, the number of class in the group data. So, the first step, I should decide on the number of class k is the 2 the power of k rule, such that 2k more than n. There were 25 randomly selected student information about their math score. For this question, The K should have 6 classes because 6 squared 2 equals 64. So, this number is greater than 25. The classes should more than 25 as long as cover the lower and the upper limit in the classes. Next, in step 2, I should determine the class interval or within. Use the formula of class within equal maximum entry minus minimum entry and divide the number of class. So, 721 minus 486 divided by 6 equal to 39.2 and the number should be run up to 40. Then, step 3 is set the individual class limits. The minimum data entry is the convenient lower limit for the first class. To find the lower limits of the remaining 6 classes, add the class within of 40 to the lower limit of each previous class. The upper limits of the first class is 525, which is 1 less than the lower limit of the second class. The upper limits of the other classes are 525 plus 40 equal to 565. Then 565 plus 40 equal to 605 and so on. After that, step 4 should make a tally mark for each data entry in the appropriate class. Then, step 5, these are the number of tally mark for a class in the frequency distribution for English subscope. After settle, the frequency for first classes is 4, second classes is 6, third classes is 7, fourth classes is 4, followed by fifth classes and 3, and sixth classes is 1. The total of sum up F is 25. The last step is the cumulative frequency of the last class is equal to the sample size n. So, this is the table for frequency, percent frequency, cumulative frequency, and percent cumulative frequency. The formula of frequency percent is frequency divided by sample size n. The multiply 100%. Formula for cumulative frequency is calculated by adding each frequency from a frequency distribution table to the sum of its process, while formula for cumulative frequency percent is CF divided by the sample size. For question 2A, should develop the histogram chart for Math and English scores, a pie chart for the gender of the study sample. So, to get a frequency distribution for Math, first must know the class boundaries, which is the number that separate classes without forming gaps between them. To get a lower boundary, the lower limit minus 0.5, and to get an upper boundary must plus 0.5. For get a midpoint, should know the lower class limit plus upper class limit divided by 2. For example, in first class boundaries, to get a lower boundary, 552 minus by 0.5 and get the answer 551.5. So, to get the answer of upper boundary, 578 should plus by 0.5 and get the answer 578.5. Then, to get the answer of midpoint, the lower class limit is 552 plus upper class limit is 578 should divide by 2. So, the of my midpoint is 565. So, this is the histogram of math set score using a midpoint at axis X but on axis Y is frequency. For the first class, the midpoint is 565, the frequency is 8. The second class, the midpoint is 592 and the frequency is 5, followed by third classes, the midpoint is 619 and the frequency is 5, followed by fourth classes, the midpoint is 646, the frequency of 1. Next, the midpoint is 673 and the frequency is 3 for fifth classes. The last classes is 6. The midpoint is 700 and the frequency is 3. So, this is frequency distribution for English set score. To get frequency distribution for English, the step in calculation still same on frequency for math set score. Next, the class boundaries for first class is 486 until 525. For lower boundary is 485.5. For upper boundary is 525.5. For midpoint is 505.5. So this is the histogram of English set score using a midpoint at axis X, but on axis Y is frequency. For the first class, the midpoint is 505.5, the frequency is 4. The second class, the midpoint is 545.5 and the frequency is 6. Followed by third classes, the midpoint is 585.5 and the frequency is 7. Followed by 4 classes, the midpoint is 625.5 is the frequency 4. Next, the midpoint is 665.5 and the frequency is 3 for 5th classes. The last classes is 6. The midpoint is 705.5 and the frequency is 1. This is the table for frequency distribution for pie chart for the gender of the study sample. For the gender of the study sample, they have female and male. The first step, make a tally mark for each data entry in the appropriate class. So, the frequency of male is 12 and frequency of female is 13. To get the sector of gender, the formula is frequency multiplied by 360 degrees divided by sample size. To get the relative frequency, the frequency divided by sample size. The sector of male is 12 multiplied 360 degrees divided by 25. The answer is 172.8 degrees. For sector of female, 13 multiplied 360 degrees divided by 25. So, the answer is 187.2 degrees. To get relative frequency for male, 12 divided by 25. So, the answer will be 0.48. And for female, 13 divided by 25. Then the answer will be 0.52. So, this is the pie chart gender of the study sample. The male should be 48% and the female is 52%. That's all for me. Thank you.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Inna Batrisha binti Muhammad Suhaimi. My metric number is H201A2430. Now I want to present question 3. So, a measure of central tendency is a number that reflects the center of a distribution. Mean, median and mode are three most common measures of the tendency for ungrouped and group data. For mean, the sample is approximated by x sum up fx divided by n. How to find the fx? You can have multiple frequency and midpoints. And n is the number of entries in the sample. After that, the median can be calculated using the formula of Lm, which is Lm is the low boundary of the median class plus open bracket and divided to minus sum up Fm, which is Fm1 from cumulative frequency before median class. Then divide Fm, which is Fm up frequencies of median class, then close bracket, and multiply C, which is C is class size. So, calculating the median have 5 steps. The first step is to determine the location of the median class. Observation n divided 2, so 25 divided 2 observation equal to 12.5 observation. So, the median class from the table is 579 to 605. Then for step 2, determine the lower class boundary. After that, determine class size. Step 4 is to determine the sum of Fm1 and Fm. In the last step, you can calculate the median using the formula given. So, for mode can be calculated using the formula Lm, where Lm is the lower class boundary of the model class plus open bracket, triangle 1, where triangle 1 is the difference between the frequency of the model class and the frequency of the class before model class. Then divided triangle 1 plus triangle 2, close bracket, and multiply C. Triangle 2 is from the difference between the frequency of model class and the frequency of the class after model class. So, the solution for calculating the mode is to determine the location of the model class based on the highest frequency. Based on the table, the model class is 552 to 578. Next, determine the lower class boundary, then determine class size. After that, determine triangle 1 and triangle 2, and finally you can calculate the mode from the formula. The mean for math set is 15,367. Divide 25 equal to 640.68. To calculate the median is 578.5 plus bracket 25 divided 2 minus 8 divided 5 close bracket multiple 27. Then the answer will be 602.8. To calculate mode for math set is 551.5 plus and then bracket 8 divided 8 plus 3 close the bracket, then multiply 27, so equal to 571.4. Then I will continue how to calculate standard deviation. The formula for standard deviation is 1 divide n minus 1 bracket sum up fx square minus bracket sum up fs close bracket square divide n close bracket the power root. So the standard deviation for math score is 1 divided 25 minus 1 bracket 45478201 minus 236144989 divide 25 close bracket then power root, so the answer will be 1225.30. Then I will continue for English set. The mean for English set is 14,598 divide 25 equal to 583.92. For calculate the median is 565.5 plus bracket 25 divide 2 minus 10 divide 7 close bracket multiply 40. Then the answer will be 579.79. To calculate mode for English set is 565.5 plus and then bracket 1 divide 1 plus 3 close the bracket then multiply 40, so equal to 575.5. Then I will continue to explain the standard deviation for English set. The standard deviation for English is 1 divide 25 minus 1 bracket 4234316.5 minus 2131010604 divide 25 close bracket then power root, so the answer will be 1187.07. Next, I want to continue with question 4. Question 4 is to estimate the distribution of high school GPA and computer GPA. First of all, we must calculate the mean, mode, and median, then we will get the shape distribution, either the normal, right square, or left square distribution. For high school GPA, the mean is 75.645 divided by 25 equal to 3.03. For calculate the median is 2.33 plus bracket 25 divide 2 minus 12 divide 1 close bracket multiply 1.3. Then the answer will be 2.98. To calculate mode for high school GPA is 1.86 plus and then bracket 3 divide 3 plus 3 close the bracket then multiply 1.25, so equal to 2.49. The shape distribution is quite right because the mean is 3.03 more than median, where median is 2.98 and median more than mode, which is mode 2.49. The mean for computer GPA is 78.315 divided 25 equal to 3.13. For calculate median is 2.57 plus bracket 25 divide 2 minus 10 divide 4 close bracket multiply 1.25. Then the answer will be 3.35. To calculate mode for computer GPA is 3.09 plus and then bracket 3 divide 3 plus 0 close the bracket, then multiply 1.25, so equal to 4.34. The shape distribution is quite left because the mean is 3.13 less than median, where median is 3.35 and median less than mode, which is mode 4.34. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Husnina Alia binti Rosli and my matrix number is H21A2427. I will present question 5 about the confidence interval between maths and English score. For maths score, the mean is 15,367 divided by 25 and the answer is 614.68. Next, for the standard deviation is 1 divided by 25 minus 1 open bracket 4547 8201 minus 2361 44689 divide by 25 close bracket then square root, and the answer will be 1225.30. The significance level for math scores is 5%. So, the confidence interval for this question are 1092.55 and 136.81. Then, for the English score, the mean is 14,598 divided by 25 equal to 583.92. Next, for the standard deviation is 1 divided by 25 minus 1 open bracket 4234 3167.5 minus 2131.01604 divided by 25 close bracket then square root. So the answer will be 1187.07. The significance level for English score is 5%. So the confidence interval for this question are 1046.87 and 120.97. Next, I will explain the scatter plot of the relationship between the students' high school GPAs to their overall university GPAs. There is strong and significant relationship between the students' high school GPAs to their overall university GPAs.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nur Aina Nabila binti Adnan, matric number H21A2496. So, question 7 shows what is the correlation between high school GPA and university GPA as a whole. To get the correlation between these two, we need to make a table to calculate the whole. The total number of high school GPA is 75.18, while the overall university GPA is 77.71. Moreover, the total amount of X squared is 234.15 and Y squared is 247.81. To get XY, we need to multiply the scores of the high school GPA and overall university GPA. The overall additional result of this XY has gotten a total of 239.74. Next, we used to calculate Pearson's correlation coefficients and using the formula that has been given. So, R is equal to 239.74 minus 75.18 bracket 77.71 close brackets divided by 25 per square root of brackets 234.15 minus 75.18 square divide 25 close brackets and brackets 247.81 minus 77.71 square 25. Then we get 239.74 minus 233.69 per square root bracket 234.15 minus 22608 close brackets and 247.81 minus 24155 equal to 6.05 per square root of brackets 8.07 close brackets 6.266 close brackets 6.26 close brackets equal to 6.05 per square root 50.52 is equal to 6.05 over 7.11 and R equals 0.850. There is a strong positive correlations at 0.850 between high school GPA and overall university GPA. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, next for question 10. 10A, write out the regression equation to calculate GPA, not the coefficient and the constant. Okay, first of all, we need to find which one X and which one Y to make GPA for overall university GPA from maths SAT score. And overall university GPA is for Y, and then maths SAT score is for Y, X. And then we add the schedule. We need to find the mean for each column, and then we will just fill in the blank for fill the plot, and then it's done. And we will find the result in like this graph. Okay, next for 10B, what is the R square R equal to of the model? Okay, for find the R, we have formula. The formula is sub xy minus sub x sub y divide n, and we need to divide bracket sub x equal to minus in bracket x equal to n divide n, and we close the bracket and we open the bracket for xy equal to minus xy equal to divide n and close the bracket. So we put the number for sub xy is 905, and we minus 15376 bracket 14626 close the bracket, and we divide 25 and we divide in power root bracket 9522738 minus in bracket 15376 close the bracket equal to divide 25 and we close the bracket. We open the bracket for our y x 63606 minus 194626 equal to and divide 25 and the next until the end, and we got the r 0.832.